This is the hookingest ball in the history of the game of bowling. The hookingest ball in the history of the game of bowling. In the history of the game of bowling.
A balance hole. Up yours. Can we do it again with balance hole?
Yes.
You said weight hole. It's
Your
on it again.
symmetrical ball.
It's balance hole.
Balance,
The
balance,
hookingest
balance,
ball in
balance.
the history of the game of bowling. In the history of the game of bowling.
Balance. Okay, we're here.
A lot of things have happened. We'll find out that when you come back to bowling, it's not going to be the same as when you left.
All right. This is the last take, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been far too long since I've been able to tell you that I'm Mikey Dread, and this is Bowling Science. Welcome back, everybody. We are back, and today I'm excited to show you the equipment that I've drilled to get started back in the game. It's been over a year since I've bowled seriously or at all, and we're going to start with my favorite bowling ball from the previous seasons, which was my Obsession Tour. And we're going to get the PAP off of it, which we've done here. We're going to drill up a whole new arsenal today. While we take a look at the choices that we have here, and I drill them in the background, let's talk a little bit about how to build an arsenal and the choices we made to build the start of my 2025 arsenal. Everything should always start with your benchmark ball. My benchmark and the ball that I've had the most success with is that Obsession Tour that you see sitting in the back. We did start everything here today by finding my access point with that ball. It is a little different than when I bowled before. It's now at 6 1/4 over by 1 1/8 down. It has moved up a little bit, thus changing the layout a little. That was a 4 by 5 by 2 strong PAL layout, which on that ball gave me my benchmark reaction. I could throw it on anything. It scored really well. It allowed me to read the pattern. And there are times that I would need something else, and my other shapes were not as good as that. So in this arsenal, we're going to build around that benchmark. First ball you see here on the press is an Intel SE with the 4x2 symmetrical strong PAL layout. This is the symmetrical version of the same layout that we intended on that Obsession Tour. This ball here should go just a little bit longer naturally and have a longer hook phase, thus letting it hook a few boards less. This should be great when the Obsession Tour is seeing the friction on the back of the lane too much. It's nice to have an option that's going to be smoother than that. Well, with one ball drilled on the straighter side of my favorite benchmark look, we're also going to do an Envy Tour, same core as the Obsession Tour, stronger cover, so that should give me a heavier oil option for when the Obsession Tour gets down the lane too easily or isn't seeing the friction early enough. We'll have a better option with the Envy Tour that we're going to drill up as well. I do plan on keeping the Obsession Tour in the bag, so between the Obsession Tour, the Intel, and the Envy Tour, all with the same layout basically, we'll have great options for a variety of friction needs or where I might need to play on the lane, as obviously one's going to hook more than the other. Now, not everything works great with a benchmark layout. You're not always going to be bowling on house china. You're not always going to have forgivable back ends and free hook or hold in the middle. That's where the specialty pieces in this arsenal will come in. There's an outer limits here and also a Trailblazer solid. The Trailblazer, as most of you have probably guessed, is our short pin. I always have an asymmetrical short pin in any of my arsenals, and that usually gives me the straightest option. The outer limits that you'll see is going to be a control ball that helps us control the lanes more front to back as opposed to left to right. Well, let's hit the lanes and see how this Obsession Tour looks. We are here at Imperial Lanes today, the home of Top Shelf Pro Shop, where we're doing all of this awesome ball work. And this is a leftover house pattern from the night before. So let's get everything on the lanes, let's get a few lines on everything, and start to open up the lane a little bit and see how they do. The Envy Tour here, along with the Intel, both should have similar overall benchmark shapes. This Envy Tour will be the most hooking ball of the balls you see here today. Here's the first new layout that you're going to see from me here today. This is a 4x6x2¼ PAL. I call this strong and long. Very similar to the 4x5x2, but with this core being much bigger, I wanted to make sure I could get it down to the end of the lane a little better, and in future videos we'll discuss how to adjust the PAL layouts to a wider range to accomplish your layout needs as we watch that short pin Trailblazer. The straightest look in the bag. Now we're going to go back through the arsenal from straightest to most hooking. We have the Trailblazer Solid. Now we have the Intel Special Edition here, much longer transition than the Trailblazer, and slightly more hook. Now moving into the outer limits, this ball is going to roll more forward than everything else. I look forward to using this when there's a lot more oil at the back of the pattern. It's just going to chew that up and roll through the pins and allow me to transition to when the lanes break down. Now hooking a little more than that is our classic benchmark look. And I almost feel like I just throw this ball better every time I pick it up. It's so comfortable in my hands. Not that anything else feels different. They all have the same fit. But that ball is home to me. And here is the new home run ball. Envy Tour off the corner. Oh, not far enough left. Let's go another 3 left or so. And slide around that little baby gutter cap and get her into the pocket. Let me know down in the comments if you're using anything like this. What kind of equipment are you building your arsenal around? Here's that Obsession Tour with the Intel just to show the difference between the two. It's not massive, but a smoother shape and less response to friction. So definitely going to be great as the lanes break down. Here's that Obsession Tour next to the Big Hook and Envy Tour. And you see we can get much steeper with the Envy Tour and play in the heavier oil part of the lane. And now we got the lanes broken down. Let's see them all in order from least hooking to most hooking, starting with our short pin. Even though this ball has plenty of surface, it maintains a long skid phase and allows us to control our angles on the back of the lane. Moving up next, that Intel. What more needs to be said? This is the shiniest ball in the bag, actually. I normally don't keep anything shinier than 4000. This ball, I think, has compound on it, and I think I'm going to keep it. I like it, and maybe it's a new leaf for us here at Bowling Science, bringing a few more shiny pieces into our arsenal. I did get a few of these off my hand a little flat, so we're going to throw a few more just so that we can see it go through the pins well, give it a fair shot. With the shinier cover, if I do throw it flatter and I miss my target, we're definitely going to see some flatter reactions, but there was a much better one, and even though it was a little high, went through the pins great. I'm not sure how much I'm going to use this outer limits. I was very hesitant at first to even drill a ball with this big of a core with a strong high flaring layout, hence why I pushed it down the lane a little bit with that longer PSA distance and slightly higher pin above the line number. As I threw it this day, I realized that as the patterns get more difficult, I think this ball is going to be in my hand more often. You'll see I wanted to try to find a way to get it through the pins a little better, so we threw a few shots with it. And overall, it definitely performs well. Excited to see where we can use it. I've heard that the Effect Tour is the newer replacement of the Obsession Tour, and we will try to get one on the channel here in the future. Let us know in the comments if you want to see that. Now that the lanes are hooking more, let's see how that Envy Tour does off the corner. Great. Allowed us to stay in the oil, transition smoothly when it reached the friction, didn't overread because it had a little more cover. And even with the lanes opened up, the Intel does stay straighter than the Obsession Tour. Overall, I'm really excited about how this arsenal came up. It looks well rounded. I don't think I've got any holes here. Obviously, there's a purple hammer hiding in my trunk, and we'll use that when necessary. I want to take the time to thank everybody for the support, announcing that I'm coming back. There's been nothing but positivity with the return of Bowling Science, and I want to thank all of the Bowling Science fans and everybody who has supported this endeavor over the years. Negativity sent us away, but we're going to come back and we're going to overcome that with nothing but good ball reaction and positive vibes. Make sure you hit that like button, Subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you're throwing this year, and we'll see you next time here on Bowling Science.